This is the fourth episode of a series documenting my attempt to do a charity ride across America, visiting different locations used in the Fallout setting. I have survived the deserts of the American Southwest. Despite the setbacks and reroutes, I just keep going. With Arizona and soon Utah behind me, my next biggest challenge was going to be Colorado. I am in for the toughest week of the trip yet. Alright, had breakfast-ish, overpaid for some A&W. The fries weren't very good and the chicken tenders were small and also not very good. And it costs as much as like Chick-fil-A did at St. George. The bike route goes that way. But yeah, the landing. It's weird, after so long of being off route, not in places that I, had planned out. I'm now in a place that I had always intended to pass through. It's got a little like quaint small town Americana type businesses. That A&W was also a gas station and a bowling alley. Ominous. So we're by, this is Recapture Reservoir, which is just outside the landing. And this is a hill. It doesn't look like too much, but it's 6 fucking miles long. Well, at least we're doing it early in the day. Get it over with. The climb is over and we peaked at 7,250 feet. Definitely a high elevation thing. We have arrived just outside of Monticello. This is kind of like an open farmland that you can see on the map that like is in southwestern Colorado. But the presence of windmills obviously means the presence of wind, but it was a tailwind. I had a pretty good tailwind pushing me towards the town, so I like to think that I'm being delivered into, I don't know, cope. So, took it easy. 21 miles, 2,000 feet of climbing. As easy as 2,000 feet of climbing can be, but should be enough time to recover, and it's kind of a tactical decision too, because now we're 100 miles from Durango, so that's, I don't know if it's going to work out like this, but 2 50-mile days makes sense to me. If I take it easy, I can balance it where I can keep moving and being productive while still not exacerbating any issues. But it shouldn't be too long now before we're back to like full operations. That would be a hell of a tailwind if we were going to Moab, but we're going east to Dove Creek, so it's going to be a crosswind. I hope it ends as we descend, because it looks like we go downhill for a bit. We still have to climb today. It's not all downhill, but I'm just hoping the wind isn't too bad. You can see I have the jacket on. It's cold up here, and we're only at like 7,000 feet. Oh, I never saved the trip yesterday. Good on the Garmin for remembering it so that I can save it now. I did say the stats out loud, but that would be annoying to like have to look through the video footage for the stats of yesterday. But today's not a big day. It's like 26 miles. I think this is the last easy day I need. The end of yesterday wasn't too bad. I've been inspecting the spot. I think that we're good to go. There's more dust being kicked up there than there was in Mojave. The wind hasn't let up. I'm taking shelter behind this hill they carved out, but what's stark to me is how drastically the landscape has changed in just like 30 miles. It's just weird to me how much more lush things are compared to like literally down the road to the south. These forested areas are like the only relief from the wind. It's like just a little windy here, as opposed to the fields where when I ride I'm like at a 15-degree angle, because the frame bag is like a sail in this thing. We've officially crossed Utah off the list. Unfortunately, this is a situation where the crosswind is so bad that I have to pedal down the hill. So, but yeah, we've made it to Colorado. So we've arrived in Dove Creek. So I'm getting ready for today. I've been having a lot of thoughts. Like, I want to start like camping more as the weather permits. I want to push harder. And this is all well, good and true, but the first campsite I look at. Do you want to guess the price for a tent site at this place? $70. $70. Okay? For reference, I'm looking at hotels in the town that is within a mile of it, and you can stay at a 2-star hotel. You can stay there for $79. Now, of course, it's not always like that, but there have been times where I've been looking at the options, and it's just ridiculous how close it is. Bit of a despondent night. I've been on the road too long. I've been in the mountains too long. I'm not as far as I'd like to be, you know, all that good stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's because I did 40 miles and then like 30 miles and then like 20 miles. It's like, yeah, the mileage has been really slow the last couple days because I was basically limping off an injury. I got to get my head back in the game. More miles. So, just leaving Dove Creek. They got a burger place here that has $5 quarter pounders, which that's pretty good. It's windy, it's a little chilly. I might put the other gloves on just for comfort. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, the goal is, I'm thinking, get as far east today as I can. There's a storm a-coming, and if I go, maybe I can make it this way. Also, look at this hill. Oh, there's no shoulder on it either. This is a bike route. Why is there no shoulder on that road? It's actually kind of fucked. Guys, I'm not cherry picking. Why is it always Twisted Tea? It is very windy. And since the sun's not out, it's kind of like a... It's not cold wind, but it's definitely not warm wind. This town's doing a fraction as well as the last one, Dove Creek. And, I'm pretty sure there's roadkill in front of that building, just like kind of pulled off to the side. Oh, these poor towns. Pinto beans seem to be the big thing that they grow here. Maybe they thrive at this elevation. We're at almost 6,700 feet. Bro, give it up. You're not going that way. I've been watching that crow fight the headwind for like a minute. Not very smart. Oh, there's the mountains. The entire time I'm debating whether I'm gonna go north or east, I'm staring at those mountains covered in snow. I'm thinking to myself, boy, I sure don't want to be there right now. I've noticed this is a trend here. There's just like a steady flow of these oversized loads being transported across the state. Like, what is that for? What is that? What was that? It's weird that it's such a consistent feature of this area. Pelted by the wind. The sleeve just flaps constantly. I've been tempted to like tie it down because of how much it flaps in the wind. I can't take the jacket off because this wind would just cut right through what I'm wearing. I don't want this to, I've been thinking like, I don't want this to come off like I'm complaining too much, you know. It is just kind of the nature of me to think about the negatives and point out, hey, this is kind of difficult. Had my first dog encounter of the trip, which is kind of surprising. But I guess it tracks that like now that we're in like open farmland, this seems to be where dogs are like the biggest issue. So this dumbass is on the other side of the road. He runs out across the highway in front of vehicles to chase after me. And, so I gave him a good kick in the face. It's fucking dust. goggles for this shit. It's the damnedest thing. I'm walking along this field here, and there's no carcasses. I've been passing a carcass like every 100 yards. And suddenly you put a fence up, and there suddenly is no more dead bodies on the side of the road that I have to stare at. Like, surely the damage to people's vehicles is worth putting up a fence. It's not novel anymore. It's the same thing over and over. 6-month-old rotting deer corpses. Can we please stop with the deer corpses? Stop spamming this one thing, writers. Well, that one's just about done, so I'll show you that one. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of that, just not finished cooking, you know? I haven't smelled it. When I was a kid, there was this dead dog on the side of the road on my way home from school. There was no other way to get to my house. So I had to walk by this dead dog every day, and I learned every stage of decomposition and had to smell it every day. The smell was the worst part. None of them seem too fresh, so either they're like old enough that they don't smell as bad anymore, or the wind is just so oppressive that like it's just blowing it away like as fast as it is exuded by the bacteria that produces the smell. But yeah, seeing a lot of corpses. Fewer now that this fence is here, but obviously that fellow's there. All right, we started to reach the point that the Rocky Mountains looks like a mountain range. Up until now, it's kind of looked like just a bunch of different mountains and like space in between them, but now that I can see that there are mountains, which are there and there and there, yeah, now it's all like starting to make sense with how it looks like on the satellite imagery. It's just interesting that this area was so deceptive with like hiding that stuff. New sticker. Decided to stop in Cortez, so we've got 10 more miles to go. This is the intersection. One way goes to Cortez, the other way goes to Dolores. So this is literally the last time you get to choose whether you're going east or north. We're going east, baby. Well, that's unique. Someone, and I'm not going to name names, invited me to do something online, like a business thing, and I agreed. I let them know my concerns about poor audio recording quality. They didn't mind. So they set up a date. Everybody agrees to it. I reserve a room tomorrow because they want to do it tomorrow evening. And that's fine. I can do that. But then they changed their plans. I call the hotel. Of course, it's like midnight. Nobody's available. They tell me like, oh yeah, if you want to reach out, like, text us. I probably texted somebody while they're sleeping. They're gonna read it in the morning and be laugh, right? No cancellations. The problem is that place is like 20 miles from here. God, it's so stupid. So I might be forced into an easy day tomorrow and overpaying for hotel. I'm just so tired of this. I shouldn't have agreed to it. I mean, it's not like I'm forced to do it, but it's like I am probably most likely forced to take the hotel reservation unless I get like lucky and this person happens to check their text messages at midnight and like undo the booking, which I highly doubt, because obviously they're gonna probably want the money from the booking. It's not like there's gonna be a likelihood that other people are gonna book the night like overnight. It's annoying and I'm not happy, but I'm not gonna try to like take it out on this person, even though I am gonna say like the next date they need to be triple sure. Chances are very high I'm gonna have to take an easy day tomorrow, even though I don't actually want to. I didn't want to. I want to push hard now. I'm like over the hump of like I want to get this done, and then it's like, well, I guess I'll take an easy day if it means that I'm like, doing work stuff later in the day at the hotel, right? Yeah, that actually justifies it. But then if I get screwed over like this, so the Oblivion remaster is out, and today has been a day where I'm being like endlessly reminded that I could be making content on that, and instead I'm in a hotel room in Cortez, Colorado, doing this trip. And I want to do this trip, but I feel like I'm making all the wrong decisions. Hello, hello. I dropped the glove, so I had to go back a couple blocks to get it, but I found it. Would have been annoying to not have it. It was one of the padded ones. So, good news. The hotel was accommodating to my plight. I thanked them, told them that I would donate some of the money to St. Jude's, which I will. Yeah, we're leaving town. Look at those mountains. I got a picture of them with the McDonald's in the forefront because I thought it was appropriate. You know, these roads basically ride themselves. It's like, I check the map where I'm going and it's like, yeah, just follow this main road. It goes out of town to Durango. I'm like, oh, okay. It's so simple out here. Whereas like east of the Rockies, it's gonna be like, I'm actually gonna have to pay attention to like, you know, turns and stuff. So I took the tights off. It's a little too, it's too warm for them. We're like on the border temperature, but I did it here. It's a little sheltered so people don't have to watch, but it's a viewpoint for this. This is a flume. There were like 100 of these, and they used it to transport water through this area. So I'm at Sleeping Ute Mountain, and I think it's interesting that the place with sleeping in the name has a no camping rule. I get it, listen, I get it. But like, honestly, for real, no cap, this would be the place to camp. So I think I know why it's not allowed, but like at the same time, you know, this is all I'm saying, you know? Well, it's not really looking like there's a way out of this valley that doesn't involve a lot of climbing. It is fun, like, this is a good, you know what though, this has a good pace. I put a lot of work in, I crest the hill, and then I get greeted with a beautiful view. You know, the last time I was riding, I would climb all day and I would be greeted by the same like farmland and heavy wind. I'm starting to get the appeal of these mountain climbs because it's tough, but you get to the top, you feel proud, and you get to look out at a beautiful vista. Not really something I've gotten to enjoy up until now. Usually the tops of my climbs aren't viewpoints, and I usually have not felt proud of climbing. And so like understandably, I've been a bit adverse to routes that have lots of elevation climb, but this is cool. This is very cool. Also, this road is kind of like an interstate up here, but it's not too bad. The cars aren't moving very fast, and there's a very wide shoulder, so I don't feel like there's too much difficulty about going down this road. And we seem to have gotten out of the previous weather system. You can see I got hit by 2 rain droplets, so I put the dry back on, and then this happens. Go figure, right? 1,000 feet over 5 miles, and then holy shit with the dust. Anyways, yeah, we go up to 8,000. We'll be up there for a little bit. Then we come back down the other side, we'll be in Durango. Here comes a big fluffy dog. How am I supposed to take that seriously? He looks like a sheep, and he's frolicking through the field. You know, this road is getting worryingly close to those mountains. Some people say you should like hike as you bike pack. Like you should take days off to go hiking, and I'm just like, no, I'm not doing any side quests like that on this trip. There's a sign there, 27 miles to Durango. So we'll be at 46 miles for the day if we stop in Durango. I don't see how we don't, because we were late leaving because I thought I was fucked. So like, of course I was late leaving because we just passed through the town back there, Mancos. That was the town that I was originally going to stop in until these these fellows changed their mind on when we're recording. They still haven't made up their mind. Someone lost their down jacket. I pulled it out of the middle of the road. It's not in bad shape. I can't carry it though, is the thing. That's too bulky. I can't carry that. But like, at the same time, I feel like I'm being given a sign. I'm gonna take it with me. I'll figure out some way to get it strapped to the top of the dry bag, but I'm not keeping it, obviously, but like at the same time, fate has given me a jacket. I don't know, am I gonna get snowed on? I might be grateful that I found it. I might be kicking myself if I leave it behind, so. All right, good enough. Let's, hey, hey. There's someone out there that would be really excited by the notion of finding 4 cigarettes on the side of the road. It's not me. I want to know, why are you throwing a pack of cigarettes out the window that still has 4 cigarettes in it? I have to hope that the story behind that, listen, this is emergent storytelling. I have to hope the story behind that is that person like realized mid-cigarette that, you know, their addiction was shortening their life. They weren't gonna live long enough to see their grandchildren, you know, and like they were like, fuck it, I'm done smoking, and they chucked that shit out the window as soon as possible. Now, of course, realistically, if you're gonna go through that moment, please at least have the decency to like wait until you're in town to throw it out. But you know, if that person went on to like quit smoking forever, then I guess there's a bit of positivity to that little bit of litter. But I'm not holding out hope. I've noticed that my my breathing has been worse. I'm at 7,900 feet. You know, I don't live in a place that's that high off sea level. So like, as you go up, oxygen gets less dense. Now, it only starts to become problematic. Like we're not anywhere near where it's like I should be having trouble, but I don't know, maybe like that hill would not have kicked my ass at like 5,000 feet. So I have to assume that elevation is playing a factor in my performance. That said, even with the elevation, oh wow, okay, hang on. We're cresting the hill, and there's like a mountain range, but it terminates in a cliff. Looks cool. Every county in Colorado seems to have this sign at the border that's like, you need land use and building permits. And I'm not sure what they mean by land use permits, and it's like, inquire at courthouse, and it's like, so do I need to go to the courthouse and ask like what do they mean by that? I think I'm getting loopy. I'm feeling the signs that are typical of dehydration. I'm getting a little silly with my thinking, but I don't think the issue is that I'm dehydrated. When people say that happy-go-lucky horseshit about every uphill has a downhill, this is what that means. Fingers are cold. That downhill, it's the blasting through cold wind. It's definitely got to be freezing up here at night. Like, there's no way I could camp up here. I mean, I got my new jackets. All right, that's kind of a view. Supposedly we got downhill grade for 6 miles, so we got that to look forward to. Unfortunately, it's dark and cold, so wish me luck. Never mind, there's the real view. The question is that the town? Because that's actually kind of bigger than I thought it was going to be. And there seems to be like a blue line. I don't know if that's a river or what. But yeah. I had to stop because my arms hurt from holding down the brakes, but this is some incredible scenery, and I don't know where all this traffic's coming from yet. It kind of reminds me of home in a lot of ways, and that's nice. It's such a change in geography and the biology and all of that stuff. It's all different. Bike lane means only one thing. We've made it. So, 46 miles, 3,300 feet of climb. Decent hotel for the price. I'd say it's a win. The day was kind of a battle though, honestly. Felt like it went back and forth between being a good day and being a bad day. I'm in Durango. Half of this town seems to be under construction. I woke up to the sound of construction. Well, taking the highway was definitely the experience I signed up for leaving Durango. What surprised me was the like 700-foot climb out of town. Oh good, because I hadn't seen enough roadkill just today. Right. There was a deer that had just died that was like in the shoulder right there at one point. I had to ride around the corpse. So you're telling me that that's with the fencing? Oh boy, I'm looking forward to this. That's the second one today. So what happens is these oversized load trucks pass me and they honk and I look back and I'm like, shit. This one I had to like pedal to the metal a bit to get over here because I couldn't just pull over where I was, but those things are massive. They're like moving 2 lanes at a time. They're wide enough that like they would hit me if I didn't get out of the way. Hopefully that's the last time that happens, because the first one was like the first half of the house and that was the second half. Hopefully there's no more of those, but it's really weird how many oversized loads are being transported through Colorado at any given time. Also, this is a weird town where it's like there's businesses here, but they're only like antique shops. There's no like place to get anything to drink. Of all the ways to die, getting killed by a moose in the next 6 miles would be one of the funnier ones. They don't want you to know that the US cavalry fought giants in the just past this little fella. I'd be willing to bet his wing's broken. He's not running from me. That or he's uncharacteristically brave for a bird. Usually you only see that type of behavior in like cities and stuff. So, and he's flaring up his feathers. He probably wants me to fuck off. I had a brief moment, maybe like 5 minutes, where I was just kind of sitting there. Kind of disassociating. I disassociate a lot these days. He's still there. I hope he's okay. There's not really anything I can do if he's not other than kill him. I'm not gonna do that, so just leave him be. Yeah, I was just kind of sitting there, like reflecting, you know? Reflecting on the trip, reflecting on how badly I'm doing on it. You know, I just keep going, but you know, hard enough to feel a little bad. I'm kind of at the point that if someone offered me a ride, I'd accept it, even if it was just like, you know, just like 5 miles. Just to get me a little closer to done. Now, of course, I question why the country's beautiful. If I have to walk, I'll walk, you know. What's the point of taking it easy like that? Right as I say I'd consider getting a ride came. So, that's 15 miles off the trip now. If that seems a little dirty, just remember I turned down a ride on my 100-mile day. That would have been 60 miles. So I feel a little justified. Like I'm making up lost time. But yeah, fun talking to that guy. He had a son who did what I am doing, so he thought he'd offer to help out. And yeah, much appreciated. Very kind. It means I won't be exhausted. On my days off, I'm working on that as well. And then sometimes I work on the Fallout script. So just because I'm idle doesn't mean I'm like, you know, jerking off playing Factorio all day, although both of those things do happen. Very appreciative that I've got a ride. I made sure to tell him that. The main thing I worry about with rides is that the geography or, you know, biology will have changed too much. And here I am. It's mostly the same. Main thing, I left the camera. Oh, he's got my bag. He's got my bag. All right, I'm gonna have to figure that one out. The bag was swiftly recovered. Mountains, mountains. There's no shortage of views here. And there's this nice little pedestrian trail. Take me a little ways. I'm trying to find a place that's kind of centrally located to stop at for the evening, which I think is probably going to be downtown or close to downtown. But like, yeah. Well, this is an enjoyable experience, but I didn't earn it. I don't know why I torment myself with this idea that people are going to give me shit. Like, yeah, it was a 15-mile ride, but like, who cares? Who cares? Your Honor, honestly, who cares? Had to go 5 more miles, but found a hotel. It's by the river. There's a hot spring. Upside, there's a hot spring. Downside, there's a hot spring, which means it smells like sulfur. I need to shave, though. Starting to look bad again. Bad news. It rains tomorrow, which, whatever. But there's going to be intermittent rain the next day that I'm riding, and that might be prohibitive when it comes to going through the mountain pass. Hopefully I don't get like stuck here for a few days. I mean, I don't know, it's beautiful, I guess, but I don't want to pay that much money. It's going to be a psychological battle going up, just only going up for so long, but you know, it is what it is. And thankfully we didn't get snowed in here, so. I thought the place to start today would be the Cuck Flags here. I don't know, I don't think the traffic's bad enough to necessitate that kind of thing, but what do I know? Here's the river. It's a little whitewatery today because there was rain here yesterday. But like I was saying, it looks like we're in luck. Well, I guess it's what I came to see. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to shave my disgusting facial hair before I left today. So, I hope that doesn't impact my luck in any way. It's interesting. Like, I'm not superstitious. I don't actually think it impacts my luck. I think it impacts people's willingness to engage. If I don't shave, I kind of look homeless. And if I look like a vagrant, then people seem less inclined to help me. Now, of course, there is an element of statistical probability. There has to be, you know, the right person at the right time just happening to go by. I'm sorry, hold on. Increase your safety by getting the driver's attention. Grab a flag and hold it high to be seen. Wait for eye contact and traffic to stop before crossing. Give a thank you. No fucking shot. We're not making it an official part of the process that you have to thank the car drivers for the privilege of letting me cross the street that the people here fucking pay for. So here's the big intersection. This is the way we're going. This was the other option, which goes through New Mexico. They both exist to go around that natural barrier. I don't know where the 7% rain, the 7% precipitation coverage is, because this is a more beautiful day than, honestly, this is the most beautiful day we've had since we came into Colorado. Like, no joke. I really don't even need the sweater. Finally. Oh my God. We've seen, like, they're running off, but like, I've seen like 500 of these guys dead on the side of the road. It's good to see that there's at least one fucking deer in Colorado that hasn't been hit by a car yet. I wonder if that was some kind of Google car. They were driving around with one of the instant 360 cameras, which in theory you could use for like street view road mapping. It's interesting I managed to pick that up on camera. There's a ton of stuff that happens that's so fast I don't get to record it. Like every time I've been harassed by a driver, I don't get to record it because it just happens so fast. So like, I've got proof that people help me. I've got no proof that people harass me. But it does happen. I'd say it happens more frequently than I get helped. There's people who will like kind of scream out their window as they pass you, trying to scare you. It's one of the reasons I wear earbuds all the time. But most of the harassment's either honking or two trucks would pull me, which again, it's like, I wonder how those people would feel if they knew that they were harassing somebody that was riding for charity. I know charity is often invoked as an excuse to get social capital, but it's like, you know, most people, when I tell them what I'm doing, they acknowledge it's for a good cause. And so it's like, I wonder if these people would feel bad if they knew. But that's kind of the thing, is like, I shouldn't have to wear the St. Jude's jersey to not get harassed by cars. That seems like a reasonable take. It's just so weird to me that there are so many people in our country who are like vehemently anti-cyclist, like to the point of wanting to kill us anti-cyclist. It's just bizarre. Especially in a situation like this. I could maybe get it if I was like blocking traffic in the town. But like, a lot of the times I've been harassed, I've been in like a wide shoulder, just minding my own business. Which, by the way, these shoulders are amazing. Colorado has really set the standard for what I expect out of a road surface. And they've got every excuse, you know. Colorado is a huge state. People underestimate how big this state is. It's one of the biggest that we're gonna be in. Colorado's a big state. They've got extreme weather. They've got, you know, it's hard logistically to get trucks up into the mountain. They've got every excuse to have shitty road surface, and they've easily got everyone beat. I wonder, actually, that's interesting. They have their porta potties outside. I wonder if that's for us. Like, is that for people to use? Usually porta potties are like inside barbed wire fences. If they're outside, I have to assume that that's for people. I don't have to use the restroom, but that is interesting. Oh my God. This place is so beautiful. Like, I could just, if I had the battery lifespan to do it, I could just keep the camera running, and like, there's probably always going to be like something worth shooting here. So this is how you can tell it's getting serious. We're at 7,800 feet. This is a chain station. So it's where truckers will put on chains, if they haven't already, to get through a snowy pass. Okay, it's got a sign on it. It says trail closed. It's a shame that I can't read. You see, this falls under the purview of what people describe as an anarcho-tier. I'm not gonna do it. Mainly because I fucking hate hiking. And I need my energy to summit the pass. Oh, that was a fun little excursion. And look, my bike hasn't been stolen. Okay, Colorado, I get it. It is a road on a mountain, so I can kind of forgive you, but at the same time, this is a road on a mountain. I think this is the situation where I need the shoulder. I actually met a cyclist who, he was in Christchurch in New Zealand. He broke his shoulder, and what happened was this tree limb just broke that he was standing under, and it fell on his shoulder, and like there was like a witness who was able to attest that, yeah, this fucking tree limb just fell on this guy's shoulder and broke it. And so like New Zealand's medical system like paid for it because it wasn't his fault. It was basically an act of God. I would not be so lucky if a rock fell on me, and would probably just be allowed to bleed out on the side of the road and die. I just realized we're at 8,400 feet. I was like, why is my breathing so ragged? And then I remembered, oh yeah, I'm climbing a fucking mountain. So I better probably have a lot of clips of me talking silly and being out of breath. I do apologize. This is a little much for me. That might dash my hopes of riding up it, because who knows, I might not be able to ride above like 9,000 feet. We've got 2,700 feet of climbing to go over the next 7.5 miles, but I feel good. It's a nice day. I don't think I'd accept a ride. This is the third one of these signs I've seen in Colorado. They got them on the road occasionally. I'm guessing they're for cyclists. They could be for, obviously, ride could mean motorcyclist as well. And maybe it's like, maybe it applies to both, you know, whether you're pedaling or not. But I wonder if they work. I wonder if there's any data that proves that they work. Because to me, it just kind of like, it's been one of the things about Colorado that psyched me out, besides all the animal carcasses, is like every 50 miles or so, there's a reminder, hey, by the way, you could die too. It's like, gee, fucking thanks. Now I'm gonna be thinking about that, I'm gonna be distracted, and I'm gonna get hit by a car and die, and it'll be the sign's fault. I don't know. Here's the thing, I don't know if the oxygen's getting thinner, or if I'm just psyching myself out into thinking that's the case. I'm pushing partially to pace myself. I'd love to ride up it. I have the energy and motivation to do it. It's just, I kind of feel like my heart is working harder to supply my body with the oxygen, so I feel like it would be unwise of me to, you know, pedal to the metal, gun it, given that these are not conditions I'm used to cycling under. I guarantee you this big fence I'm leaned up on is because people were definitely walking out on that thing. Just a pretty incredible view. Well, I have plenty of time to gawk at it. I need to eat this sandwich. We've got about 2,000 feet of climbing to go. Those cars are so far down there. So I haven't seen one of these yet on this trip. I've seen them before. If you were a runaway vehicle, you know, you can't just coast to the bottom like a bike, because you would be going so fast you wouldn't be able to take that turn. Some of the trucks that have passed me, not up here, but down there, when they're coming down the hill, their brakes are smoking or steaming. But yeah, I'm riding a little bit. What I'm doing is I'm in my lowest gear and I'm trying to stay below 4 miles per hour. Now you might be thinking like, well, I could walk up this at about 2.5 miles per hour. So why not push up it? And what I'm trying to do is just maintain like a really steady, slow pace that isn't too difficult. It's just, the whole thing is steadiness to me. I think that's the key to getting through this. 9,000 feet. My heart was racing after that like little bit of riding. So I started walking, but I'm going like 2 miles an hour when I climb. So, I mean, the math is, we might be at this another 3 hours. Oh, it took hours to summit the town pass into Death Valley. Look at this mountain though. Pretty cool. And I think there's a big waterfall there. There's something big and white. Ooh, it's something big and white. Here's your FedEx mail. Hope it doesn't crash on the way down. Small waterfall, big waterfall. I'm not doing too bad physically now, so I don't think it was an altitude thing. It was probably what I ate yesterday. It's 3:30, which means that I gotta start taking this very seriously because I do not want to be up here when it gets cold. I just ran out of water. I'm realizing that waterfall was the best opportunity to filter some. There'll be another opportunity up here, I hope, but I don't know. Beautiful scenery, but it's gonna suck if I get dehydrated. Kind of white truck with like a little light bar on top just drove by, like flipping me off. I don't understand. There's no situation in which, you know, I've inconvenienced this person. Like, why would you do that to a stranger? I know it's like, it's minor. I shouldn't take it personally, but it's like, I kind of got a question. Like, how many bad days is that guy away from just like murdering somebody? Wow. A full liter of water. I must have got it from a kind stream. No, there's a creek right there. I filtered it myself. My hands are a little cold from doing it. It's cold, but it tastes good. And the bottle was cleaned yesterday, so like, this is as optimal water as it gets. It's just, while I was filtering it, you know, I had to sit there, wait for it to get through the filter and into the bottle. It took a little time, probably about 10-15 minutes. And all I had to think about was that guy flipping me off. It would be a little thing if it was any other day, but the fact that it's like today, and like it should be so obvious. But the fact that it was today, I don't know. It's hard for me to care anymore and be like, oh no, urbanists, don't 3D print those tire deflator valve caps and install them on random SUVs and trucks. Don't do that. You'll make us look bad. It's hard for me to care. Every time it's a truck. It's hard for me to be the voice that says, no guys, come on, let's be nice, because what have I got for it? It's literally no effort to do nothing. These people are putting in extra effort. And they're using me as like a emotional punching bag to outlet some of their frustrations with how fucked their life is. Why? Why do I deserve that? By the way, we're almost to 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet, the height of the journey. I'm not sure if it's this pass or the next pass that will be the highest point of the trip, but I think it's this one. I think today is the day. And that's what fucks it up for me. Today should be a good day. It was beautiful weather. And I was thinking when I was filtering the water, like, I shouldn't let negativity overtake me. I should try to be positive about it, but there's no positivity to it. So how do I be positive in that situation? You know, like Jim, the guy that gave me a ride to Pagosa Springs. That was a nice guy. You know, think about him and think about the positivity and the good experience and how helpful people can be. But it's like for every one of him, there's been 5 people who've harassed me. So, I don't know. I'm too realistic to be doing this. And it's causing me to just hate people. Not only is it a twisted tea, but they didn't even drink it. How does that happen? I'm sorry, I had a car. I drove a car for years. I don't know how, like, shit just falls out of your car while you're driving. That doesn't happen, okay? You threw it out your window. You threw a full can of twisted tea out your window. Why? Well, we're here. This is the CDT, the Continental Divide Trail. It follows the Continental Divide, obviously. It's crazy that it's up here. Here, the river flows to the west. Once I reach the top and crest this hill, we'll be at the point where the river flows to the east. Informational thing. Snow has been swept into it, so that's interesting. Yeah, I'll say the CDT is definitely an enormous challenge. Well, there's supposed to be a bronze line below that you can stand on. That might be it. This is me standing on both sides of the divide. But yeah. Very cool to be here. Definitely a big moment of the trip. It's another milestone. Now we go downhill, so I gotta change gloves. Could never be me. I'm cold enough coming down this hill. Of course I'm wearing shorts, but still. Skiing, just not my thing. I do like skiing games though. I've played a bit of snow. I do like that game. And I think it's probably a fun sport. It's just the whole hassle of like coming up here, doing it. I think it costs a lot of money too. I don't know. I'd much rather ride my bike. Got a hell of a descent though. A hell of a descent. Well, I didn't know I was getting some interesting engineering on this side. So I bet that's the old road. I wonder how much of it is like still rideable. Like, can you actually get to the other side of this tunnel using it? And I gotta give them credit. There's a lot of shoulder room in this tunnel. Like, they did not skimp out, and they could have justified it. You know, I as a cyclist understand why you wouldn't want to dig out a giant shoulder inside your tunnel. But someone definitely had a bad day here. Wow. Yeah, I hope they didn't like go into the river. But yeah, this is definitely a pass. It's great. It's awesome. A little hard to get up to, but you know what? Fair enough. So, road sign, road narrows 4 miles. Okay. You see how narrow that shoulder is? Yeah, it's whatever, right? We've had worse. But the problem is that if I fall off the road, I go into a raging whitewater rapid. Like, and they, like, trucks, if they get behind me, like, they can't pass me, or it's like more difficult for them. This is not okay. This has quickly turned into a bad situation for cyclists. I'll be as careful as I can, but like, god damn. There was a fellow, a truck, of course. He was pulling a trailer. He's behind me and he's honking. And I just yell at this guy. He didn't do anything. He just drove on. But I was like, what do you want me to do? Okay, I'm on a tightrope here. Okay, traffic's here, death is here. Death's not literally here, but there was a whitewater rapid. The drop was like 25 feet. Okay, I fall off the road. That's it. Okay, you have a tire go off the road, you would fucking lose your shit. Okay, could you not for a second just accept that I can have the lane for a minute if it means that I don't fall into a whitewater rapid river? Is that acceptable? Is that okay with you? God damn. These people need to be fucking shot. This is close to the situation I was describing, and even then it's still not as bad as what actually happened. The cliff I was dealing with was steeper. There were way worse rocks at the bottom, and the water was more aggressive. But yeah, you just imagine like watching somebody cycle down this little sliver of asphalt and being like, this person needs to get the fuck out of my way. As soon as I'm a personal inconvenience to people, it's like, yeah, he should die. And I guess like it's making me such a toxic person because I'm thinking the same exact thing about them. And I don't want to be that way, but it's like at the same time, it's like, I don't know, just fucking, where's the shoulder, Colorado? Where'd it go? Can we take some of that 10-foot shoulder that's on the other side of the mountain and just like extend this like 2 more feet, please? I survived. What a day. Now I get to think about if it's gonna rain here and what exactly my solution to that problem is. Did I say the mileage? 42 miles, 4,200 feet of elevation. Obviously there was a lot of descent involved in that, but yeah. I gotta turn the light off. But yeah, what a day. Hard not to be cynical, but it is what it is. These are disgusting. Alrighty. Situation developing. I did not shave. I will continue to be unlucky. Or lucky, depending on how you look at it. So yesterday I was almost assuredly suffering from altitude sickness. That informed my... well, partially probably informed my negative mentality. Obviously the negative stuff informed it too. I was thinking, like, even at the time, those people that pissed me off, you know, they did help me to like cut through the malaise and get the job done. So at some level I can't be too mad. I hope I'm not too mad. Anyways, we're in kind of a situation. So there's weather forming. It is Saturday. The weather will last until Wednesday, if it happens. It was supposed to happen before, it didn't happen. It looks very clear outside right now, so it's not happening now. Reportedly, it will start raining this afternoon to evening. I'd like to be somewhere before that starts, but the big question is not that. That's the simple question. The big question is, what do I do on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday? 4 days of rain. If it's real, that's a hell of a problem. Well, when you put them in those terms, we've got a headwind today too. Any advantage that was conferred to us by the merit of this being a downhill trip are completely nullified. This is now something I have to work to do, which is whatever. It's fascinating to me that you can get Gatorade as a fountain drink, but it's always like the worst flavors of it. This is something that tickles me about American road engineering, where it's like the bike lane ends, bike lane ahead. The passive aggressive signs at the front of a store are always kind of something that gives me a kick. I like, because this is part of what seeing America is like. All right, I think that storm is real. It's all around me. Well, not all around me, but hello. But yeah, we gotta get to Alamosa before that happens. I just can't seem to escape this old Spanish trail. Also, over there are what I think are the Great Sand Dunes. I don't know, but they're pretty big. And I feel the walls closing in on me. I feel like this is chasing me. I gotta like get to there before this catches up to me. Is this an Old World Blues reference? No, it's a drive-in movie theater. I haven't seen one of these in a while, but they're showing the upcoming movies and it doesn't look like, I don't think the Minecraft movie is one of them. This is a quaint and cute little neighborhood here on the road here. Like the highway goes through here, that's nice, but what is this? I know that this is like the parking lane, except there's no parking between 12 a.m. and 6 p.m. So it's nice, wide and open, but you're telling cyclists to ride in the narrow road where all the cars are. And here my family was this shit was gonna happen in Los Angeles. No, apparently it's Monte Vista, Colorado. They're getting people to honk if they like democracy. I don't know, it seems like kind of an aimless political thing. They're not really making any points. They're just like, yeah, Trump's a convict and climate change is real and democracy in Ukraine. It's like, that's too many issues for a protest. Well, this is my great humbling moment. I'm hardly the type of bike that should be at the skate park. I'm just like gonna ride down the soft ramps, do that, ride around, come back. I don't know, I looked at the last skate park and I was like, you know, that'd be fun. A fun little like side quest. So let's do a side quest. This is a very political town, by the way. I don't know if this was like a big battleground town for the state of Colorado or what, but there's Trump stuff everywhere, and then like there's those Democrat protesters in the middle of town. It's very weird. Doing that on a bike this heavy is scary. I bought it out there, but I don't know. I will admit that was kind of fun. All right, we're stopped in Alamosa. 47 miles for the day. Be surprised if there was any elevation because of just the nature of this area. This area really is flat. Garmin seems a little stuck right now, so we'll find out. But we're up to the mercy of the weather if a transit is possible. All right, today's the day we leave. I've been sequestered here for too long. Started with waiting out the rain, and it turned into waiting out food poisoning. I took an extra day to recover from the food poisoning, but I think it was worth it. We do have one more mountain pass to do, and bad weather doesn't mix well with mountain passes. So the first goal will be to get to a town at the base of the pass. And the second goal will then be to evaluate where we're at that point, and if summiting the pass is something that we want to do, or if we want to wait at that town and like have a full day to do the pass. But I am, you know, still recovering from an illness, so I don't know if like jumping back to it and like pushing myself super hard is particularly smart. But yeah, it was not fun being stuck here for as long as I was stuck here, and not in the state that I was in. I'm telling you, man, I don't think normal bikepackers have this many setbacks, and I don't know how many of them are my own damn fault. But whatever. I'll do my best to get through it, I guess. This area sure is beautiful. Ignore the dead mouse on the road, though. I just noticed that myself. But we're sitting on a canal. I'm not feeling the best. I'm going decent pace, but it's flatland. That's to be expected. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna try the pass today. Just feeling uncomfortable. nausea mainly, you know, extended food poisoning symptoms. So that's cool. It was asked if it was like the filtered mountain water, which I don't think it is. No, it was much more compliant with food poisoning, and I kind of know what meal caused it. I just need to be out of Colorado already. I mean, I'm gonna miss these shoulders. I think the Great Sand Dunes are over there, and I think there's snow on them. I thought maybe if I wasn't gonna do the pass, I could do Great Sand Dunes, so I don't even know if I feel up for that. Ugh. This was a pretty good find. The owner gave me a discount for riding for charity, which is nice. It's actually the second one. The last place gave me a discount as well, and I didn't even tell them I was doing it for charity. So people in like this little corner of the world seem very impressed that there's a cyclist out here doing this. And I mean, hell, it's cold and windy. It's a fucking, it's a flat, marshy wasteland. We did it. We made it to Fort Garland, which is at the base of the pass. I ended up recording a 32-minute rant this evening. The slow progress and continual setbacks, from the weather to the saddle sores to the food poisoning, was starting to take its toll on me. I'm pretty stubborn, so I wasn't gonna quit. But I definitely felt something needed to change because it seemed like this trip was going to go on forever at this rate. I often find that complaining is the easiest way to motivate myself to keep going. Once it was out, I could then focus on the task ahead. La Vida Pass. The skies over the pass are clear. Ish. Let's hope that doesn't become a problem, but yeah, short of waiting for tank top season, I think this is about as good as it's gonna get. Jacket's off, which means that Mr. Black is tucked in for the trip up. I'm trying not to sweat. The wind is cold, but the sun is hot, and hot sun's making me sweat in that jacket. But jacket's off, earbuds are going in for obvious reasons. This is 65 mile per hour traffic, so it's pretty loud. Wow. That's the easiest mountain pass ever. Clueless. I don't know if you can see it, but over there, there's a few beaver dams. Very cool. Maybe I'll get mauled by a bear at the last possible second. Drea, will you marry me? That's nice. What a nice little moment that must have happened here. Well, maybe. She could have said no. That's the thing with marriage proposals. Take a woman out to the middle of nowhere, propose marriage to her there. What is she gonna say? No? She's gonna say no and then ride in the car to the nearest town. Oh yeah, near these abandoned houses, I'm gonna say no. I'm just stopped here for a bit. Supposedly, there's only like 7 more miles of climbing. Hopefully I'm not mush-mouthed for the rest of the trip. Look at that bike. I put the dry bag on just in case, but I don't know. I still think it's prudent to have on. The weather's being a little temperamental right now. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. I've said a lot, so. So that road's the old pass, and this road's the new pass. You may notice there's a lot of snow out, and the wind is cold. Jacket may be coming on soon. Whew. I'm lightheaded, so glad to see that. Although my math isn't mathing because I feel like we're 200 feet below where we should be. I could have sworn that the math added up to 9,600 feet. I don't know. I'm curious what this grade sign says though. What's the downhill grade and for how long? 6% grade, 4 miles. Well, the Rocky Mountains are putting on a show on our way out, so that's nice to see. Going out with a view though. Very cool mountain. I'm not sure what that is, if that's fields or a town or something. It must be pretty far away. There shouldn't be a town like right there. Oh, it's getting more plains-like, but also I am going through altitude sickness because I'm feeling the nausea, which I think it's comboing food poisoning. Either way, I don't feel too hot. I hope there's a place to eat somewhere. I don't know if eating's a good idea, but yeah. There's no break from the traffic. Trucks love this route for some reason. Ooh, loot box. Oh, hell yeah. Let's see what we got here. No phone number. So I'll be giving that wallet over to whatever police establishment I found at first. Hopefully they take good care of it. I'll give the money back and everything. Look at these views. The Rocky Mountains are definitely saying goodbye. That's the Great Plains. I can already see wind turbines in the distance out there. I don't think the camera can even pick them up, but I can definitely tell that there's wind turbines out there on the plains. And yeah, it's a bit of an emotional triumph. So I'm gonna get to Walsenburg and eat. I don't know if you can hear it, but I just realized there's crickets here. I don't think I've heard bugs like this entire trip. I hope this doesn't mean that we're gonna have mosquito problems soon. Well, if he's chaining up his bike, then I guess I have to. Your seat's uncomfortable because it's wide and soft. We're out on the road. 11 a.m. I have until 8 p.m. to go 70 miles. I'm gonna try to get out of town so we can take a look at the scenery. Well, without finding a hill to climb up, this is probably the best we're gonna get when it comes to representing what lies ahead. At least we still have a shoulder. It's a little rough, but this road's also not terribly trafficked, so we got that going for us at least. My throat is sore, so I'm having to breathe through my nose. But the main industry out here is cattle, so that's not always fun. There's a joke I've been meaning to do, but I'd kick myself if I didn't do it, but I think it's kind of stupid. I just don't think the scenery here in Colorado is very good, you know? I think it's overrated. I don't really see what people find beautiful about it. There, I did the bit. It is fun watching these mountains get smaller in the background, but then again, I'm not watching it, you know, I have to turn around and look. All I'm looking at is, you know, those windmills in the distance. I think I've been here in Red Dead before. The shoulder disappeared. Oh no. Please tell me it comes back. I'm surrounded by wind turbines. I don't know, I don't think the sore throat's getting better. I was hoping that it was just like one of those, like I breathe through my mouth at night and I got a sore throat type deals. I hope I'm not getting sick. That would not be a fun happening to have a sore throat. But I had some honey to try to alleviate it, but yeah. Mountains get further and further away. It hurts to talk. So, can't speak. Feels like it's getting worse. 75 miles. So I'm having to move. I still don't feel great. My throat has been better, but it's still like kind of on the edge of getting bad again. And I think I have like broader kind of illness issues, so I'd like to stay, but they sold the room. So I gotta switch hotels if I want to stay in a hotel, and I do, so sucks. But the chicken stuffed taco seems to have given me some more vitality, but I almost got hit by a car coming here too, so I don't think it's the best play to travel long distance today, which sucks. I was in this hardware store looking for a torque spit, didn't find it, but anyways, I'm being filled with a terrible, awful idea to go a little bit, probably about 20 miles, and see how I feel there. I'll need to pick up water on the way out of town first, though. I forgot to mention it sooner because it was in the 30-minute rant I cut, but my laptop battery had swelled up while I was in Alamosa. So not only was I stuck in hotels trying to recover from back-to-back illnesses, but now I couldn't even be productive while sitting around all day. I had actually been doing research and writing for most of the trip, and people who know me personally say that I am addicted to my work, so this was a pretty big blow to morale. I would need to find a torque spit, I think it was a T5 or T6, in order to remove the battery and make it functional again. My speculative bad idea has turned into what we're going to have to do, because apparently everywhere's sold out. There's some kind of like business thing going on in La Junta today, so we can't stay anywhere, they're all booked. Sore throat's the worst. I'm at the stage where like I'm almost over it, but like there's something like stuck to it, and I tried to cough it up and it turned into me throwing up a little bit, but I don't feel too bad. Whew. Back-to-back illnesses, you know, I don't normally get that sick, so like back-to-back illness is pretty crazy. I just want this to be over so I can enjoy my ride through this Windows wallpaper. Have to go the wrong way for a little bit. This is where I've been hanging out for the last few hours. Probably gonna camp here tonight. A weird number of people come driving here at night and then like here in the morning. It's very strange. But I'm feeling better, so. The Garmin is dead, so we gotta get that charged up. And then we're going west 3 miles to Ordway, to a gas station, to get water. And then it's 58 miles east. But yeah, we're leaving extra early today, so no rush. Yeah, that looks like it could fit about 10 zombies in it. Pretty good shoulder so far. And this is a cattle feedlot, I think. That or it's where they butcher them. Like, you know, process them before they get butchered. Either way, this is what I was smelling yesterday. You gotta be kidding me.
So because I've already been this way, I know I have to cross the railroad in this town. And that fucking train finally caught up with me. So I'm gonna have to wait on this stupid train. That's it, car cells. I'm convinced. Trains are dinosaur technology. Clearly the truck is the vehicle of the future. Wow, holy shit. Talk about timing. All right. And then there's nothing forever. It's so backwards to me. This town has a public restroom, but you know, I'm not spending money here. My taxes don't really go here, but that's a federal post office. You want to guess what they don't have? They don't have a public restroom, even though my taxes do go to that service. It's just so backwards. You know what I mean? This town has every reason to say no to me using their bathroom, but they say yes. The post office has every reason to say yes, and they say no. The town clerk offered me water on the way out, which was very nice, but I just stocked up in Ordway, so I had to decline her, but still, very, very nice people here. Well, the town clerk anyways, but all the same. It's kind of funny, my body could tell that I was embarking on going onto this trip in the middle of nowhere and said, hey, hold up a second. You should take care of something while you're in civilization. I'm so glad that my voice is back, that my throat doesn't hurt as much anymore. It still hurts a little bit, but like, I would sneeze and that would just start this horrible like chain reaction of pain, basically. Anyway, like, sore throat has got to be up there for like one of my least favorite symptoms of illness. It's not the worst, obviously, but like, because it's so common, it's such a common symptom, just not a fan of it. All right, here's our sign, 34 miles to Haswell. I don't think there's really anything in Haswell. And then 56 miles to Eads. And I'm hoping to stay in Eads. There's some horses in the background for you horse lovers. So this road surface looks pretty new, right? But you can see on the edges, the grass is slowly reclaiming it. Makes me wonder, like, how long would it take for the planes to reclaim this road? It's pretty fun, other than like, I can tell someone is like eventually gonna come behind me. I can hear an engine, but at the same time, it's like I'm in the middle of nowhere by myself. It's pretty cool. Thankfully, it's not the time of the settlers, because that feeling of being by yourself would be a lot more scary. Hell, it is scary. There were teenagers partying last night at the park I was at after like midnight. Yeah, they actually, it was kind of cool. I don't blame them. They showed up to swim in the lake because it was a full moon, so it was super bright out, and like, honestly, I bet it felt amazing in the water, even if it was like super cold. Oh man, I'm sure it was amazing, but it spooked the hell out of me. You gotta be kidding me. People are putting track hazards out here. So I see the road goes down, goes that way, and it turns there, goes that way. And I think the town is there. Now I gotta ask, why can't we just go straight there? I think there's some obstacle in the way, but yeah. A little inconvenient, but Oh well. We have 40 more miles to go. Damn, the end of the journey just like snuck up on me. Didn't know I'd make it to Arlington so soon. So, tiny, absolutely like Pico community, Arlington here in Colorado. They have a little like pull-off area, which is neat, but nowhere to sit, which is not so neat. They should put in a bench here, because this would be an awesome like reprieve from the sun. Kind of, because it's a midpoint between Sugar City and like Eads. So, not there though. I've seen 3 dead snakes on the road, so that tells me that there's like a decent number of snakes in this area. The point of bringing up the snakes was don't put the bench there. They already got like a concrete pad here from, I think this is like a rail, was past tense, like a rail switching station. If there was shade over this, you could put a bench there, but if not, just kind of clear out the vegetation, like the low level vegetation here, put it in there. But yeah, I'm just taking a short break while I have shade to do it in, because shade's a luxury here in the plains. Shade is a luxury. It's not too hot. It's just I don't want to, like, you know, sit in the sun. Even if it's like, I don't know, 80 degrees out, I kind of just want to sit in the shade. This is nice. It's a little windy, but it's nice. It's gonna get really windy tomorrow. So we've lost our shoulder. I hope it comes back. Here we are in the town of Haswell. Haswell? Ayleswell? It's okay if you don't get the Ayleswell thing. But yeah, another one of these towns. Rotten out buildings, rusty structures, an old grain silo that I wonder if it still works. What's going on here? Not responsible for accidents. I'd hope not. It was like an accident-prone place. I like that even more. The picnic table with a giant fucking tumbleweed colony under it. If that thing ever got loose, it'd probably knock over a car. Haswell provides a remote dark sky and radio quiet location for a 60-foot parabolic dish antenna. Oh, I see. That's probably why I can't get a signal here. I guess these are Trans Am signs. Deep Space Satellite. I guess it's 5 miles down one of these roads. Oh, okay. I was wondering why there was a picture of a Schwinn. It's because this guy would fix bikes. This map's weird. It doesn't even have it on the map. You need to circle it that we're like somewhere around here. So I was just stopped in at this convenience store / mechanic shop, and was chatting with a couple folks there, and they were talking about how there's been a kind of decline in cyclists passing through here, and I was telling them, like, yeah, there's a lot fewer cyclists that do the Trans-America than there were like 10 years ago. It's because of how the route has kind of become too busy with car traffic down the line that way. I forget where exactly. I remember I've seen a few cyclists kind of quit the Trans Am to do their own thing, which is a shame. This part's fine. in terms of road traffic, because all the car traffic that isn't local is taking the 70, which is north of here. So, yeah. This part's fine. If you want to do the Trans Am, a part of it, do this part. But yeah, road sign, Eads, 21 miles. We have a tailwind, so I'm kind of flying. The guy at that gas station said that this road surface costs $1 million for every mile that they pave, which is just crazy. And they're having a big conflict here in eastern Colorado because, well, I didn't want to say it to him, but you know, there's not enough industry in this part of the state to justify spending that much money to pave all the road surface that they have. But at the same time, like, it's just a source of conflict in this area, which I guess explains why, I don't know, they said that that part that had no shoulder was paved like 2 years ago. So I'm not sure what the justification was for not having a shoulder, short of, I don't know, cheaping out. We're in Eads now. It's 2 p.m. Don't let that fool you. I left earlier than usual, but it is pretty early. I need to figure out if I'm going to stay here or try to move on. I don't think there's a lot of places to stay, so we might have to stay here. This is the park that I shall be camping at tonight. I stayed in the library until they closed, but still a few more hours until sunset. Unfortunate I couldn't make the most use of the day, but we're still not to the part of the world where like you could just go like 10 more miles and be in a different town. And even then, you're still limited in terms of like where you can stay. It's an odd feeling to go 67 miles and feel like you've, you know, not gone as far as you can. Hopefully today is the last day of illness, but yeah, I don't know. I've been saying that for a while. It's not as bad as it was, but it could obviously be better. I think my voice belies more illness than is actually present. I just realized the grain silo has cell phone bits at the top. That's novel. Yeah, we're here at the park. I'm waiting for sundown before I pitch a tent. Everything says I'm allowed to be here. I could be here for 2 days if I wanted to. It's actually kind of funny. If you're here for more than 2 days, you have to apply for a permit. And at that point they want 15 bucks and like your docs. And you have to have a driver's license. And it's like, damn. And I get why. It's benefited them because I paid for an overpriced steak, and they'll probably have breakfast here tomorrow, so. But I have to get out of here by 7:30 because sprinklers come on here. So it's not just get up at 7:30, it's get out by 7:30 so I don't get wet. I think I lost the bag from the tent. Whoops. Guys, as you can see, clearly the bag was not essential. God, we need that fucking bag back. So I had breakfast. This wind's pretty nasty. I haven't pedaled since I got on this road, and I'm going 13 miles per hour, so definitely a windy day. I'm gonna check the Dollar General in this town. I got a trash bag. Worst comes to worst, I'll just use the trash bag. I'm a vagrant already, might as well, right? We have the collapsible backpack. So in theory, I could like wear the tent on my back. Like it's obviously suboptimal, but so is this. Like the second we have a headwind, like it's over. The party's over. Well, it's worse than what we had before, but it's better than carrying it on my back, so. Concrete road. I think one of the first ones of the trip. I don't know where all that truck traffic is going, but I know that most of it is going south down 287. and we're going east on 96. I can see wind turbines, so those are going to be coming back. This is my new friend. He got startled, or she, I think it's a she. She got startled when I came around that tree, but she seems a little interested in me. Oh, nope. Small little maintenance break. Not putting sealant in, but I am. I wiped the chain down. It was clicking at me a little bit, and this gear back here. They weren't windmills, they're power line. And they were about 25 miles from where I was. It's like we're going through like a phantom climb right now. And the wind, the wind itself is not too bad. Crosswind does slow you down a bit, but it's these vehicles that pass me. I feel like I'm getting whipped every time a truck passes today. And it's just because their vortex is changing the aerodynamics. But trucks that come towards me, and for some reason there's been a lot today, but trucks that come towards me, it's like a wall of air just slamming into me. So I feel like progress is a little slow today as a consequence. Obviously we were off the Trans Am for a while, but we've been back on it for like 100 miles. And this is the first one of these signs I'm seeing. I had no clue that this was US Bike Route 76. I would have made jokes about it if I did. But yeah, I'm in a little town called Sheridan Lake. And we'll stop in this convenience store, take a break here, and recharge. I'd heard about this. This convenience store was reduced down to just a couple vending machines. It's an air-conditioned room with 2 vending machines in it, one for snacks, one for drinks. And they were priced all right. Actually, this Gatorade, which I've never seen this flavor, Arctic Blitz, it was cheaper than it is in a normal gas station, so credit where it's due, I guess. Perfect place for a school. Place with no cell phone coverage, but they don't have issues in the classroom. Man, look at this yard though. The line of trees, the mowed grass, routinely watered mowed grass. They water it just to cut it. Make it make sense. What a weird thing to point out now of all times. I laid on the table here and closed my eyes, but I didn't like sleep or anything. Just kind of resting. Because it's 64 miles to Scott City. If we can get there, I can get a hotel. If not, then we gotta camp. And that's half the deal that I made with myself, and that's also half like just plain reality. It's not like I could cheat and get a hotel somewhere sooner. I can't. There are none. But yeah. It's an interesting vibe. A lot of these like small farming communities. So I think this is the corner before the state meeting, because 96 in Colorado and 96 in Kansas don't quite line up, so they have this weird turn. But we'll see. It was the state line. So we've made it to Kansas, and they said the road quality gets better in Kansas. Now, I don't know how true that's going to remain. It did get choppy at the end. Hopefully we keep our shoulder going into Kansas. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that I can see farther. I feel like I'm it's not just that I'm seeing the same things over and over. It's that I can only see like fucking 15 miles at a time. Like, there's some weird fucking chunk loading issues out here. But yeah, we dropped to 3,900 feet. I don't even know when that happened. We lost 100 feet at some point. We've been averaging 4,000. But yeah, it'd be nice if I could see more than 15 miles.
The Great Plains were a different world from where I had been. They have broken many continental crossers, but for me, they were a relief. An ocean of open landscape, where it's just you and your willingness to keep going. If you're motivated by scenic vistas and mountains, you will find them boring. But if you take the trip as a challenge of who you are, it's very refreshing. Unironically, the Great Plains can be one of the biggest challenges of crossing America, not because of the scenery, but the climate. Many underestimate how much of an impact summer temperatures have on crossings. While I got my ass kicked by the cold of late spring in the mountains, it was also now the perfect temperature to handle a part of the world that doesn't believe in shade. Thanks for watching. The charity drive continues, so as always, donations are appreciated, as are algorithm juice such as likes, comments, and shares.